So previously we'd taken over at Magdeburg. Within 2 seasons we got ourselves in the Bundesliga, had a few seasons kind of battling off relegation, and we've slowly started to increase with the league positions. I kind of see us as the Brentford of the Bundesliga. However, we've kicked on a little bit. We're maybe now a Brighton and Nottingham Forest. For season 13, we're in Europe for the first time, and it's not Conference League, it's not the Europa League, it's the Champions League.
Yeah, boy.
We now have players like Chido Obi, Sevilla Halsaf Naipan, Ethan Wanyeri, Harry Amas, and then a lovely array of beautiful regens and playing a really intense German Gegenpress 4-2-2. We're in Europe, we're on the march. This save doesn't finish until we win that Bundesliga. It has now been 60 years since they last won a major trophy, and we're talking European title or that Bundesliga. So let's get into it, kick it off with the transfers made in season 13. Let's go. We only pretty much had that 20 million, 23 million. We didn't get any more for that Champions League, but I think we've spent rather well, rather clever. Players released, no one of note, which was a good start. So it means that we're not at a real detriment to us. Zaroli has gone. He would move down the order as well because of the players that we've signed. Wanted to go 31. We've had a good couple of seasons out of him, just been a little bit of a backup. I do think when I'm Sampdoria coming very soon, I am going to be checking in and see what we can do for him because he's in and around the B team. So I think potentially there could be a good loan signing in there when we need him for Samp. Adrian Nino has gone. What a servant. Good amount of money. 4.1 million. Didn't really play for us in the final season. Didn't play at all. So far down the pecking order. He would have probably played a little bit whether we were in Europe, but he's a season behind. He's gone with our blessing. Good servant for the club at the age of 32. Henry Oliver, he was the Bolivian that we signed a few seasons ago. And once again, a little bit of a backup, decided to cash in. We've got a young goalie that I maybe should have kept at the time, but he's poor. He's really good in certain areas, then terrible in a few. And I just decided to accept a bid because the bids just kept coming in. But more importantly, Hyde has gone. I think we can upgrade in the goalkeeping department. We've sorted our 2 centre-backs. We've got Amas, we've got Mikio. I do think we can really kick on. I'm a little bit disappointed that he's gone so cheap, but he wasn't happy being a backup goalkeeper. To get him off the books, he was going probably on a free the season after anyway. So we've cashed in and we've replaced him with Edison Aguirre. Colombian goalkeeper, definitely better all round. Still not absolutely amazing, but we got him on a free transfer. He'd been released or just decided not to renew his contract in Colombia with Atlético Nacional, and we have got him on a free. More than happy with that. And the free transfers carry on. Emil Fischer, 24 years old, been around Leipzig and Dortmund, can do the wing, which we don't play at the moment, but can do striker. I just saw it and thought, fringe player. Ticks a box for that European football as well because we need 8 Germans. So that's why we got him basically. Yuki Okinishi is going to be our new backup centre-half. 23 years old, can also do left-back as well, which is pretty cool. And defensive midfield. Been at Dortmund for the last few years. Free, cheap, not German, but nice little squad filler because we'd lost Oliver in particular. It was kind of a replacement for him. And to give us a little bit of boost up front, Karim Adeyemi has been brought in at the age of 34, released by Bayern Munich, where he's been since he signed for them in season 1 for £65 million from Dortmund. 15 pay still, he could do a little bit of a job. Remember, we're playing that 4-2-2, can be a little bit of a poacher for us. So they're the frees. We then signed Marian Vlad, well picked up by our scout, who saw him and said, this is a guy you should be signing. So we've gone with it on the basis that he's only 21, winger, but we're looking at that because we've got relying on our wing backs to be quite aggressive. He's got good physicals, few nice technicals, few nice mentals. We just need that marking and tackling to be up a couple of notches, and then I think he's going to be a really good right fullback for us. £7 million, Ramon Ars. Do we say Ars? How do we say that word? Ars? Let me know down in the comments. So, Independiente, 7 mil, had a good couple of seasons with them. Once again, he's been on our radar for a number of seasons, been on the shortlist, and I've decided this season was the season. Physicals, mentals, I am thinking with Owens, Nemandi Collins, we kind of need to have 3 players for certain double positions. So the centre-back role, I think you need a backup and then 3 players that are as good as each other. So I brought him in to go alongside Owens and Niambi Collins in central defence. And the last one, £10 million, another attacking midfielder to add to that. Remember, last year we just had Wanyeri and Naipan. We can't go along with that. Wanyeri also gets injured a lot. So bringing in Georgios Kyriazov-Popopoulos, I think it's a good signing at £10 million. Really good age, Barcelona bred, so he's got the La Masia kind of qualities that we would hope he would have. And yeah, he can still do, look, holding midfield he can do as well if need be, but I'm really looking at him taking up one of those 2 attacking 10 slots when we need it, if we need it. So a really good transfer window, and we've started the season okay. We've in 7th, amazingly Bayern Munich below us. We've not lost yet, but we've won one against Freiburg, a 5-3 thriller, decent draw at Leipzig, and a decent draw at Bayer Leverkusen. So we've picked up points on the road in our probably 2 with that and Bayern Munich, the toughest games of the league. So it's looking good, isn't it? I think it's looking very good. Champions League, however, and it's about to kick off. 4th seed, so we're going to get a little bit of a tough draw. So United, Leipzig, unfortunately, Zagreb, winnable, Red Star, winnable, Tottenham away, Ajax at home, winnable, Real Madrid away, and then Juventus. So, you know, I think we could maybe get 3 wins out of that, and that could be enough to kind of get into that last 16 kind of playoff draw. This section here would be our aim for the season, and then that's an extra bit of cash as well if we get through. It's a bonus. The board are wanting reach the Champions League proper, which we've done anyway. In the league, they want us to record a top half finish, reach the latter stages of the DFB Pokal, and we've through round 1. They're delighted with the signing of Karim Adeyemi, which is weird. I think it's just because it was a free. Still not 100% happy with us. Those results so far look really promising. So, into February, and as you can see, knocked out in the league phase of the Champions League. We finished 27th with 8 points. 2 wins, as you'd expect. Zagreb and Red Star, 2 draws. Really good in the last 2 games. Real Madrid away and the Juventus, and 4 defeats. Ajax at home was probably the disappointing one, but you'd expect to maybe lose to Man United, Leipzig and Tottenham away. So I think we've done all right there. It's just a shame we couldn't have nicked a point in that last one. If we'd have managed to beat Juventus at home in that last game, we'd have qualified ahead of them to get that final spot. But what it does mean is that now we can focus on the league. We're out of the DFB Pokal, real disappointing with that. But it gives us an opportunity here, probably not to be in a title race. Leipzig are doing extremely well, 10 points clear of us, who were down in 6th. It is extremely tight. Köln in 10th, and then second Gladbach, there's only 7 points separating them, so it's extremely tight up there. Us not having European football might just play into our hands and see if, board expectation top half, but we need European football again, don't we? Right, and then moving into the end of the season, what I thought would come true hadn't. We finished, like last time we were up and around here, we had good wins. Look, Leverkusen, really good win. Hertha Berlin, I thought, we're on here. Then, a little bit of a blip against Hoffenheim. Responded with a 4-1 smash of Darmstadt, and then since then we only won 2 games. Union Berlin and Hanover. We got smashed by Stuttgart, we got smashed by Köln 5-3, and we've ended up finishing in 9th. Absolutely terrible. Out of Europe completely. It's been a little bit of a disaster this season. I can't understand it too much. I thought we were set and ready. I thought also we would flip it round a little bit. So we've had a little bit of a change with an AF and an AF and an AP and an AP. So maybe the double roles haven't helped. But we've absolutely crashed and burned. 13, 8 and 13. 59 goals conceded. That is really high. 4th worst in the division, goals-wise. 5th highest. So we really need to sort what we're doing back there in terms of our defensive structure. Little bit of work to be done. Not much, we're down to our bare bones again, but because of players leaving already, we've got a nice little bit to play with in wages. I said, now it's not so much about the squad is good. The squad is in good health in terms of general overall squad padding, but we now need to sprinkle in and try and get these real bargains in terms of wonder kids to really help kick us on, or, getting players like Chido Obi, Naipan, Wanyeri. We need to keep doing them and keeping them players at the same time. Now, the only silver lining you would say is that we've got a really good squad, a European quality squad, but without European football, which causes its problems in terms of money, but it does mean that we can maybe have a smaller squad and really have a good go at the league in terms of not having Champions League, Europa League football. So that's the only little carrot I'm hanging on to. We've said goodbye to Adeyemi, who's retired, and also Samuel Di Bonetti, who we've had for a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He played 11 seasons with us. Tremendous effort, bit of a legend. Still only 32, wasn't playing as much, so wanted to move on, and it kind of shows the level that he's at when he goes to teams like Heidenheim. And then Sasha Freya, we signed him a good few seasons ago, and just hasn't played. It was a little bit of a German squad filler for us. I did like a couple of his attributes, but when he did play, in particular there, look, his first season, didn't play much, but the starts he had, he was absolutely minging. 6.59, no goal contributions at all in his career with us. So, he's off the books. And then on the out, big one, Remenas. He was only with us for 2 years, 1 year, which is good because I'm struggling to pronounce his name. He's gone to Liverpool, release clause activated. We offered him a new contract, but we couldn't compete with Liverpool. He's good, but it's definitely replaceable, I think. He was part of the team that conceded loads of goals last year. So, yeah, happy to get him out because we maybe needed a little bit of cash coming in. And Okanishi, who came in for that season as well, didn't play much for his backup. It was just a case of, he wasn't really a first-team player, so we've allowed him to go. Edison Aguirre has gone as well, out on loan, only on loan because we found a new goalkeeper. And Jack Hinselwood has finally left. He's had a good little spell with us there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons with us. Signed him on a free, gone on a free at the age of 32, so we've definitely had the best out of him. So that leaves us with the signings, and we've spent a little bit. We've made a little bit of money. Still got a hell of a lot left, but we've decided we're happy with what we've got. So, Jean-Paul Urchuba is in. He is our new goalkeeper, and he looks a little bit better, doesn't he? He looks a little bit over. Only 5'11", but £4 million, I thought was a good step up from what we've had. Paul Nebel, we need a German. So that is why Paul Nebel is with us. Carimo dos Santos. Here we go. Portuguese, 28 years old, in his prime, spent most of his career, we've had a couple of years at Inter, and then he's really kicked on in his last few seasons at Sporting, and we've picked him up on a free. 16 finishing, 16 crossing, 16 technique, pace 14, 16 stamina, good work rate. Yeah, a really good player to add to our now growing list of really strong strikers. To add to that, we've brought in a new midfielder in Joe Reed. Just a good all-rounder. He's been at Brentford all his career, so he's gone from the English Brentford to the German Brentford. Hopefully we could see a little bit. I actually really like it. I love to see a physical player, 6'1", good technique, can pass a little bit, can tackle a little bit, good physicals. £35 million I thought was £35,000 a week I thought was a really good deal. Now, these are all starting to be regens because we are in season 13? Are we in? See, I got those. Season 13. So a lot of these are now regens coming through. Our new potential long-standing left-back, Fabian Sanchez, from a free transfer from Porto. He's 28 years old. Amas just needs 2 players. We can't have Ari Amas playing all the time. So he's going to kind of be a little bit of rotation with Amas. Mateus Enrique, 21 years old, Brazilian, good physicals, can first touch. I'm thinking central midfield on attack. I'm thinking Volante, can do the number 10 role if need be. He can play in a whole variety of positions if needed. And I thought that was pretty cheap as well, 6.5. And then Mateus Baldo. We've gone really South American this season. 6'1", once again, physical, because we're doing a lot of running. Good technicals where you want them to first touch, passing and technique. 15 for vision, decent enough work rate, good determination, good aggression, really good, aggressive Argentinian midfielder, Baldo. And we've started the season, not great. Winning the DFB, drew against Kaiserslautern, Obi and Santos scoring. Wolfsburg, a really disappointing 1-0 defeat because they aren't great. And then Obi has just saved us 90 plus 5-minute equaliser. So not a great start, but it's early doors. We've got all the season. We want to get back into... It has to be back into Europe. I think anything less than that this season would be a real disappointment. And with that, we are doing a diamond. So we've just gone away from the 4-2-2, and it's a nice little look. We've still got 2 AS, which I'm not keen on, but it kind of means that they can split. And then we've got deep runners from Enrique and Wanyeri. We've got a Ponzu who's really good in that holding role. Naipan can just be the number 10 and just hopefully slide in balls to Vaughan and Obi. That's the plan. Both of them scored 16 goals each last year. I think they will come good. Nyambi and Collins, we're good. I think we're still a little bit light in defence. We've got good backup at left back. We haven't really got much backup. I suppose Vlad's that young Romanian that hasn't really kicked on yet. He's had a really good season. He's had a really good start to the season, but we need a little bit more from him. He played a lot of games for us last year, a lot of sub games, but hadn't really contributed. So we're good enough. I think we're going to get European football. I think we can maybe still sneak into that top 4, but we really need to kick on. And kick on we have, including the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. We've won 9 games in a row, 8 Bundesliga games in a row, because one was in the DFB quarter-final away at Leipzig. That's huge, because we've got Leipzig the second last game of the season, and we are third in the table, 3 points off the top of the league. We are potentially in a title race. No European football. Bayern have dropped off, but it is quite close. 6 points separates Bayern and Leipzig. So they, with 10 games to go, they probably fancy themselves. And look at that up there. 2 leading goal scorers, Obi and Santos. Dos Santos, the Portuguese player that we got on a free from Sporting. So it's looking good. We've got strength in depth. Remember, that's not in. We've got Vaughan who can play there as well. So we're looking super strong. Fresh legs every week. Means don't have to have much rotation. Leipzig are looking good though. Champions last year. Let's move on to the latter stages of the season. We might be diving into a game, in particular, that Leipzig one, if we could stay in touch. The second to last game of the season, Leipzig at home. Right, so it's game day. I've decided to do a live com because obviously we know it's Leipzig, and we're 14 seasons in, and we haven't done a live com yet. So we haven't had a game as big as this. The DFB Pokal we had a final a few years ago, and yeah, it was just the DFB Pokal. Wasn't part of the save. This is part of the save. We could be finally 2 games away. Now, unfortunately for us, it's Leipzig at home, which is good, but then we've got a tricky one against Gladbach, who have not had a great season, but over the years, especially over the last 3 or 4, have been in and around sort of like 3rd and 4th position. So that's going to be a really tough away game. Leipzig are playing last game someone not very good from what I can remember. Might have been even Augsburg. Teams like Bayern Munich realistically, they haven't got a chance. But maybe they have a little bit because they've got a superior goal difference, but that needs a lot of... I think they aren't winning it. Dortmund, on the other hand, have got an outside sniff, and even Eintracht Frankfurt are right there on 64. They win, and there's a draw between us, then it could be 4 teams going for the Bundesliga title on the last game of the season. We need to do our job. I'm so pleased that halfway through the season, we swapped the tactic. I said about it earlier, I know we've had a couple of defeats. That one was the Bayer Leverkusen Cup game, but me changing, not the tactic, but me changing the players and getting rid of some of those bigger earners, your Naipans, and getting rid of players like Ethan Waneri, getting him out of the starting lineup. He'd had a poor sort of running and going with the youngsters, going with players that literally wanted to be here, has absolutely transformed it. But we are playing Leipzig, current champions, so they're going to be extremely strong. I think we're just going with what we've been going with. The injury to the right back, Vlad, caused us a little bit of problems in the last game, so we did try and swap around a little bit, and it didn't work. We tried to play Mateus Enrique, who could do it, but he's not great. I hadn't played there at all for us, but yeah, we'll go back to him being in central midfield on attack. That was a crazy decision by me, but Miambi Collins is on his way out. Yeah, he's very, very slow. Is he anyone else? Just thinking, potentially... maybe we do that and play this young dude called Aidar, who's good physically. Yeah, we'll do that. That's a big call from me.
You got some big testicles to pull this off, bro.
Right, Vincenzo Italiano in charge at Leipzig. One of my favourite, probably up there with Simone Inzaghi, favourite Italian managers at the moment. Right, home advantage in the beautiful stadium. This is massive. I think we have to win. We have to win. Right, Loyola, down the left. Are we going to stop him, lads? We're not going to stop him, and they've got the easiest header at the back stick. It's Estevao after, 4 minutes on the clock. Well, my decision, to be fair, it's not his fault. He's kind of tracked the number 9, and then Baldo, our young central midfielder, has not done good at stopping the cross. Right, can we get straight back in it? I think we need to. Aponza, Enrique, he's fired it straight at the goalkeeper. We seem to miss a lot of chances in that last game against Hoffenheim. We had some big chances that we kind of spurned. Right, Dos Santos. He's another one that then came into the team later on, halfway through that season, and really kicked us on. I'm going to go with encourage. A defeat for us puts us completely out of it. Champions League football is going to be good, but that's not the end game. The end game is, well, it could be the Champions League, but the end game really is that Bundesliga as Baldo's in. Fires, we're shooting from distance. I thought there might have been an extra pass in there, Baldo. Right, we've had some good chances and we've got the ball again. Owen. It's the first time really in FM24 that I've played a diamond as well. And I'm liking it, especially with the 2 advanced forwards. It's not really realistic with 2 advanced forwards, but it works wonderfully well as Dos Santos. Oh, don't you dare, referee. We had a close call. I'm choking on a peanut back there. We had a close call in the last game. We've been giving it again. Aidar does tremendously well down this right-hand side. Digs out across. Dos Santos punishing the fullback. Is he a big boy, Dos Santos? No. Just under 6 foot, I suppose. Okay, 1-1. They've got possession of the ball. Don't stop just because we've equalised, boys. We said we need to win the game as Estevao charges down the left, the right. We've half cleared. Straight to Carpenter, who absolutely smashes it in. I'm having a thing about this in Football Manager at the moment. When we equalise, when we score, the response in big games is for us to concede down at the other end. It's a great strike. But they've done absolutely nothing since they scored. We've been on top, and then just like that, 5 minutes, next highlight, bosh. And it's back in Leipzig's hands at the moment. They're going to be champions. We need something special, boys. We have got players on the bench. Obi is having an absolute mare. I think it's more that he's not actually touched the ball. Going to leave it till 70, I think, with a demand more. I wanted to leave Obi on for as much as possible. Right, we're going to do a change. Okay, let's go. Aponza is struggling. So let's get Nanieri on and go Baldo. Can Baldo do that? No, he can't. Tell you who can do it, though. Naipan. So we're going with some of the OGs, and we are actually going to go with a front 3. Can anyone do anything apart from advance forward? No, they're all... To be fair, Ross can maybe do it. So we'll go with that. We'll go attacking. We'll cross early. We're going for it. 20 minutes to go. I can't give him an encourage yet. Right, Aidar, down. We should have bodies in the box. Enrique pulls. Ross is there. Scored a big goal in the last game for us. Miko, just give him it. Deliver. Oh, it's a lovely pass. Enrico, we must score. We have scored. Right, we've got 18 minutes, boys. 18 minutes, 17 minutes plus stoppage. Enrique, that was a lovely run from the central midfielder on attack. Lovely finish, near post. I'm going to give it a praise. Get them happy. Can we nick something? Can we get that winner? It's gone quiet since we've scored. No highlight. Oh, I think that might be a highlight. Okay, we'll play it. And see where it goes. Right, Lawyer. Vesterhelm. Arana. Oh, I thought we were going to get a tackle in. We haven't. Offside referee. There's no offside. RB Leipzig are going to be champions. And the save goes on. I don't believe that. It feels like we've been punished here. I think RB have had 3 highlights in the game. 3 highlights. And they've scored from all 3. Right. We may be able to take it into the final day. Dos Santos. Come on. Half cleared. Naipan. Last kick of the game. Nanieri's in. It's a corner, but I don't think it's going to materialise to anything, is it? Come on, Dos Santos. Come on. In-swinger. It's a great ball. It's an absolutely great ball. It's a free kick to Leipzig, and they're going to be crowned champions on our turf. That is a little bit of a disaster. I'm going to say unlucky. We are predicted to finish 9th. The Champions League money will be nice. How many more years will it be until we get that close? It's taken me, 14 seasons? Okay, never mind. We move. So with that defeat, the title dream was over for that year. We've won 2-0 last game, so it's been a good season in terms of finishing second in the Bundesliga. Getting knocked out by Bayer Leverkusen in the DFB Pokal was disappointing. Still not won that, but we're getting closer to it, I think. And Champions League football for 2 seasons out of the last 3, I think it's really respectable. Good point score as well, 69, only 4 off. Look at that, 9 defeats though. They've only had 3, but Leipzig are super strong at the moment under the management of one of my favourites at the moment, Vincenzo Italiano. So, with that, 22 million, not great, but a lot of wages to play with. A lot of wages. And once again, it's that, these youngsters that we've bought in last season are going to have another season getting better. We've got a big squad. We've got a huge squad, look. Loads of options all over the pitch. 4 strikers, Vaughan, Ross, Obi, Santos, Cams in Wanyeri, Baldo, Naipan, Kiris Apolopoulos, deep line players in Henrique, midfielders in Enrique, 2 fullbacks, 2 centre-halves, 3 centre-halves. We're kind of good. We just need that little sprinkling now of stardust to get us over the line. The finances are starting to look a little bit better as well. You think now that constant high league, finishes. The Bundesliga finished this season 2nd place. Bearing in mind, a few years ago when we were down in sort of like the 15s and 16s, 70 and 80 million pounds we've got this year. When we were finishing in the 16s and 15s, we're in around 30 million, 40 million pounds. So we've doubled our money there. Yes, we've got higher wages, super high wages, but it's manageable if we keep getting Champions League football, which is tough because there's some big clubs, some huge clubs in here. Stuttgart, Bayer Leverkusen, Dortmund, Frankfurt are now becoming a side. Augsburg have kind of slipped off now. They've had their moment in the sun. Look at that as well. Player stats, 18 goals for Dos Santos, 17 goals for Obi. Dos Santos has had a really good season for us. What a signing he has proved to be, but he's 29 years old. Right. Season 15, Champions League football. We go again. I don't think we're strong enough to win the title, I don't think, alongside Champions League, but then Champions League football again would be good. So we've had a bit of a change. Tarak Buchmann has gone. Remember him? We had him for a long time. Played a lot of games actually in the end. 328, not so much in the last few years, and decided to retire after we released him on a free transfer. Interestingly for you guys, Ethan Wanyeri has gone. It was 31. He wanted a fair bit of money to stay, and we just thought, look, his last season didn't play much. A little bit of a bit part. Now we've got that real strength in depth. We've got money coming in. Let's reinvest and get something a little bit better. And you can always tell when they end up. And he's gone to Wolfsburg, which is very much a mid-table Bundesliga side. But hats off, has helped us kick on to this next level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons with him. Super happy. Thank you, Wanyeri, for your service. And then following him out the door, Harry Amas. He's gone to Augsburg, but he is 31 years old, so it was maybe time once again to move him on. He's been a good servant, I expected a little bit more in terms of those assist numbers. 31, yeah, time to, like Wanyeri, time to move him on. Same with Nyambi Collins. We did have him for those 3 seasons that I predicted, and the last season he didn't actually play because we'd strengthened in that centre-back area. His pace over those 3 seasons had dropped from 17 to 11 as well. I do think in FM, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think pace drops off significantly too fast. And by the time they're like when he was 31, he was at Virgil van Dijk pace. And now you think of Virgil van Dijk at 34, they can still run, can't they? And I just think the drop-offs can be too significant for a lot of players a lot of time. But that's my moan at Miles, not at Nyambi Collins. Dennis Seaman has gone. That was the backup goalkeeper that we had, and I promised him first team football, and I lied. And I just ended up using him as a bit part player. He's gone. And Joe Reed as well. I kind of tricked him into a move, but we've managed to turn over a little bit of a profit on him. Just never played. Once again, it was that scenario because we didn't have European football. We didn't necessarily need a big squad. And Edison Aguirre, that goalkeeper we got a couple of years ago, he went out on loan. And in Benfica B. So he didn't have a good season. He's gone to Espanyol for 1.4 million. Right, free transfers. Here we go. Paul Lenard. Well, it's Paul Leonard, but he's French, so we're going to go Paul Lenard. He is from, Cannes, Monaco, then a number of seasons at Liverpool. AP, 15 pace, 15 natural fitness, so hopefully that'll bode well in these next 2 seasons we've got him. Technical's okay, passing 12 technique, good vision. Yeah, just I thought a nice little pickup to have in midfield. We need rotation options now. George Luis Sanchez is a Ecuadorian central midfielder. We've picked him up on a free transfer from PSG, so a wonder kid that's kind of come through and been kind of shoved in the stockpile at PSG. So I'm more than happy to have this boy with us. Super talent potentially, passing 17, first touch 15, good mentals, good physicals, superb signing. Can play in any of those midfield roles that we have in our diamond, remember. Mustafa Hekimoglu, backup striker. He's an actual real player. There is still real players kicking around in the game. He's only 31, so he starts the season, obviously, FM really young, FM 24. Moved on to Liverpool, then to Werder Bremen, Galatasaray. Some really good years at Galatasaray, look. And, still got a bit. 15 pace as well. So, probably not going to be a starting striker, but a striker nonetheless to have in. We had lots of money this summer, so I felt like having him on a free, paying him 73 grand a week for a couple of years ain't bad. Philippe Contras, he is our new left back to take over from Harry Amas. Colo Colo, £4.4 million, can play either side as well, which is pretty cool. Good on his right foot, but very strong left foot. Yeah, upgrade with Alex Vega. He is a young Cape Verde centre-half. He's going to be a little bit of a backup because we lost Niambi Collins. 13 heading, 14 marking, 16 tackling, 6'4" with a little bit of pace and tremendous mentals. So I did think that was a really good, sensible pickup. We can't do big all the time. That's why we've got Lindsay Gutage in, who is a backup goalkeeper for us. Champions League, ticks boxes because he's German. That is only it. Nuno Leao, central midfielder. Remember, we're playing this diamond, so it's all about central midfielders, and he can do the 10, he can do the 8 extremely well. He's been on our radar for a few years. He's had that release clause that no one has activated, and I've decided to activate £9.5 million. Once again, a really good all-rounder, a little bit of physicality as well, so he'll really suit. He can't tackle, but he can get around the pitch a little bit. Work rate looks 17, vision 17, leadership 15, so hopefully a really big player for us at the age of just 22 as well. And the last one came in quite late. We wanted him all summer, but we've got Bjorn Marinov in from Gladbach on loan. He has had a fantastic couple of seasons, was transfer listed, but they just want too much money for him. And we've decided to do a late deal on loan for him. The loan is costing us absolutely nothing a week, apart from his wages. We don't have to do any fees. There's an optional fee of 56, which I can't imagine us exercising, but it's optional, so we don't have to worry about that. And it's built us up a really strong squad. The only issue is Champions League registration is going to be an issue. There'll be some players missing out, some unhappy players, but I think there's a couple of players that we can probably say goodbye to and not worry too much that we're upsetting them about not giving them Champions League squad status. We've made a good start to the season. Union Berlin draw, but then we've beaten Hamburg and Schalke 3-1 and 2-0 with a good win in the DFB Pokal. Our Champions League group would like to qualify out of it this time if possible, and we've got half a chance. Galatasaray and Sevilla, decent away games, I would class them. Napoli, Lazio, once again, Napoli at home, Celtic at home, Copenhagen at home, Paris Saint-Germain away. I think it's always good to play the big teams, the really good teams away from home and just kind of forget about them. And then Bayer Leverkusen at home in the final game of the season. So, yeah. We need to get back-to-back Champions League, I think. I think that's super important, or very minimum sort of like Europa. I think I would be disappointed now with Europa League football. We'll see how we get on. We'll come back in February. I'm just hoping that we don't lose our way because of that constant European commitment. Okay, so March the 1st, we've got through the Champions League. As you can see, we're in the semi-final of DFB Pokal. And we're not in a title race, but we are in a race for Champions League. There is a bit of a gap forming between us and the top 3. So it's very much us, Dortmund, Leipzig, the champions that are struggling, and Hoffenheim going for these European spots. There may be a chance as well, depending on how well we do, that they might get 5th place in the Champions League like it happened to us a couple of seasons ago. We've been drawn against Juventus in the last 16. I'm kind of happy with that. We did only just scrape through the qualification. Wins against Celtic and Galatasaray. Draws against Copenhagen, which was disappointing, and Lazio, which isn't a bad draw. 4 defeats, Leverkusen, Napoli, Paris Saint-Germain, like we said, and Sevilla. So not not great. Not great, actually. And then we've just played in the first knockout round of the Champions League, Eintracht Frankfurt, a draw 3-3, but that was that was after we'd spanked them 4-0 in the first leg. So it sets us up. We've had a nice little bit of progress. Money again. And yeah, I think we could end up falling out of the European spots, potentially. We've only lost 3 games, though. Look at that. 3 games lost all season. That's impressive, but way too many draws. So it shows that we're a good side. We're still rocking the diamond as well. Looking at it, though, 27 goals conceded, 49 scored. 49 scored, just a lot. Oh, look, a lot of 1-1s. So many 1-1s in there. 9 1-1 draws. What, nearly 40% of our games have finished in 1-1, which is slightly odd. So we need maybe a little bit more from our attackers there if we're only banging in 1 a game 40% of the time. Now, in the Champions League, we didn't go much further. We lost the home leg, got absolutely spanked. We were 2-1 down before Kyriakos got 2 yellow cards within 7 minutes. And then they scored to make it 3-1. Well, we scored. It was an own goal really late on. And then in the second leg, we lost 3-2. Spanked again, not creating enough in these big games. And the Bundesliga form wasn't that great either. We've ended up finishing in 6th, which at the moment is the Europa Conference League, which is a little bit smelly. I think we'll be okay depending on the winner of the the winner of the DFB Pokal. 16 goals for Austin Vaughan, who's come into his best season for the club. So that's super good because he's been a little bit average over them first 3 seasons. But that's a big blow to us that we've not scored enough. Like, you remember last season, we had a couple of our strikers in Obi and Santos, and that scoring 16 each, and Vaughan and that. And we've had Vaughan in previous seasons doing that. I suppose we've had a nice share out of 16, 13 and 12. They've kind of rotated a little bit. But we needed that absolutely beautiful baller to do as a job, and we've not had anyone really step up. And then it's a big drop. Look, the 3 strikers who rotate, and then the next striker, and then the next one is 4. Enrique's had a good season from central midfield. Naipan has found himself out of the squad. He is now 32, so he's kicking on in age a little bit because we're so far into the save. So yeah, he's gone. He's dead. We will not see the best out of him. Yeah, I mentioned earlier on in the video as well, like, let me know what you think about Naipan and where do you play him and what have you got out of him? Because the issue is when he starts his career, he can play literally anywhere. And I would love to know where you've had the best out of Naipan, so make sure you let me know down in the comments. Marinov as well, the player that we got on loan from Gladbach's had a poor season really. Not many greens in terms of average ratings. It's going to be Europa, so the money's going to drop a little bit. At the moment, they're telling us £64 million, which is pretty damn good in it. And that's because in January, we sold George Luis Sanchez. We only had him for half a season. And then a bid just came in, a wild bid. And I thought this was really, once again, one of those opportunities that we can't turn down because it frees up money for us to then go again. We're so strong in central midfield with the other options, Baldo, Enrique, Leao, Kyriopoulos, and what's he called, Aponza, Naipan, I suppose, to a certain extent. So we didn't really need, when that money came in, I thought we have to take it. And it's kind of allowed us to probably go again this summer. We're going to start being really aggressive in the transfer market in terms of not really worrying about the future. Let's worry about now. Let's get that spent. Let's get that spent. So over the summer, we've actually said come buy some big players. Paul Scholl, you won't know who he is. He's actually good in the game. It might be FM23 or I can't remember what year it is, but he came in and never played for us lot. But he was in the squad. He was a good squad filler. God bless. Naipan's gone. He was at that grand old age. He was on a huge wage as well of about 90,000 a week, maybe over 100,000 maybe. So yeah, decent servant. We've had one good season there when he played as that AP behind as the 10. So maybe that's the best position for him. Fischer as well, a player that we've had for a few seasons, was a little bit of a German squad registration. And interestingly, Kyriopoulos wanted lots of money to start with. We couldn't arrange a deal to start with, and then he wouldn't speak to me for the rest of the season. So we've lost him. And he's gone to Bayer Leverkusen, which is a bit smelly from him. So a little bit of work to be done there, but we've done bits. We've still got 35 mil. I know I said I wanted to spend it, but I did kind of spend it because we've bought 62 and then sold another 59. So out goes Austin Vaughan, who's had a good couple of seasons with us, but because of what we've got coming in, and he's not been prolific. We've got Santos and Chido as well. So, we've got front 2 there. I thought we could do a job without him. And we've also lost our goalkeeper, whose clause activation was released. We've had him for 2 seasons, but we've got a nice bit of profit on him. So that boosted our budget massively. Fabian Sanchez, the aging left back that we had as a Harry Mas sort of like backup, has gone. So we've done a little bit here. We've brought in Santos, who is a 26-year-old Brazilian. When we had him, it made losing Austin Vaughan really easy, because even though he's not done great at Liverpool and on loan at Brentford, his attributes tell me that he could be superb. Strength, 6 foot, good decisions, good composure, good teamwork, good technique, can pass, average finishing, good first touch, good heading, good dribbling, could be a really good centre forward. Rick Schick is a very experienced Netherlands international. Spent most of his playing career at Vitesse. Tremendous physicals, tremendous mentals, really good defensive defender, basically, who could do half a job in there. Back up in 2 positions for us as well as DM, so good freebie. Adele Cost. We've got another French player in, but this one is an absolute worldie. We're only paying 65 grand. He is 30, and we've got him for 2 years, but he's still got really good physicals. Look, his mentals are outrageous. His technicals are outrageous. Was at Monaco for a long period of time. We're still doing the diamonds, so he in that AP role, just kind of like that Ingange, kind of just sit and find the front 2, basically. Stacey Prendeville is a new left back. Because we'd lost a couple of left backs, we needed a little bit of another option out there. He is experienced, so we've gone for it this year. We've kind of stayed away from these high earners at these later stage of the career, but he is only 28, 76 grand a week. Had some good seasons with West Ham. Technicals are okay. I do find fullbacks in FM are really hard to find in terms of regens, but he's got a good reputation as well. Only 1 cap for England, but a really good, solid choice for us. Aravik is a young, exciting... We've now extended our scouting into Scandinavia. So we've brought in Aravik, who is 6 foot and 18. I want him to be, because we're playing this diamond, I want him to be a right fullback. 12 crossing, 13 dribbling, 15 first touch, good physicals apart from his strength, but his good height. He's tackling 7, marking 3. That's a problem, but we're literally going to have him as like Hakimi down that right-hand side. Renato Santos is in, but then we've also shipped him out on loan. We've got him in at £7.5 million, 20-year-old Portuguese, under 19. I'm looking now, because of these fullbacks, it's hard to find. I'm trying to find a little bit of value somewhere. He can cross a little bit. He could tackle a little bit. He's good physicals, good mentals. So that's why we've shipped him out on loan. Give him a year to develop, because we've still got Contreras, the left back, and obviously Prendeville as well. Antonio Aragon. We've got him in. Argentinian. Shock. But he's 30. He's not a young Argentinian, but a very good Argentinian. Obviously, we lost our last goalkeeper. He's gone off to Saudi. So we've got him in, just a goalkeeper for now, basically. We're struggling a little bit. We didn't want to spend £40 million, and I thought, look, goalkeepers last a little bit longer. He maybe deserves his time in Europe after a really good, strong career at River Plate for £7.5 million. We've brought in Emmanuel Ando. This is an expensive one, £10 million for a guy that hasn't really played, but German, young, backup, potential. That's all we've gone for here with him. We've had him watch for a couple of years, and it's time. Yeah, I just thought, look, we'll get him in. He'll squad fill, can play some Europa League for us as well. Gilles is in. We've gone for 2 goalkeepers this summer. He's happy to be a backup. He has cost us a lot of money, 10.5, but he's German. German goalkeepers. When we're doing this squad registration, if we can get a German goalie, a club-trained goalie is the third choice, and then a kind of whoever for that first choice goalie, we're kind of covered. And he's pretty good. Lacks in a couple of areas, but rushing out, punching, passing, not great. First touch isn't great, but a solid goalkeeper for us. And the last one is Ferreira. He's already been capped by Brazil at the age of 20. 13.75, activated his release clause. He's classed as a wonder kid, 6.3, 6'3". Really good physicals, mentals, average technicals. He can do a couple of jobs for us, but I'm still thinking we can make a player out of him yet. He's still got a couple of years of developing. So a really exciting summer transfer window there, with still a little bit to play with if we need to in January. But I always think like we've kind of done what we can. Our squad is full. It was going to have to be an X factor signing to kind of fill it now, and we haven't really found that. So that money can be put aside for next season. The season has started okay. 2 wins and a defeat. Now it's interesting because we started the season with that Lubeck in the cup. Poor. I panicked a little bit. We then started the season against Bayern, and I thought, aye, we're in. 2-0 win over Bayern Munich. 2 late-ish goals with Obi scoring on 79 and 90 plus 3, but still a win. And then we went to Hoffenheim and got beat 4-3. So I thought, yeah, maybe we're not as good. It happens a lot that. We have this little thing, oh, we're good. And then we get soon brought down, back down to earth. But then we have beaten Augsburg 1-0. In the Europa League, this is a competition, really, we should be going pretty far in. We should be going latter stages, minimum quarterfinals. Few tricky ties, Brighton, maybe Anderlecht, Sociedad, Monaco, but Braga we should be beating, Ferencváros, Rapid Vienna we should be beating, Apoel we should be beating. So yeah, we should have no problems in qualifying from the Europa League. Right, what we're going to do is go through to the February, see where we're at, prediction for the season, in and around it. 3rd to 6th, I think, will be our marker for this season. So it gets to February the 1st, and as you can see, we're in 6th, which you might not think is the end of the world, but we're absolutely way off. Bayern Munich, by the way, are way off. 28 points after 20 games. They are 7th, 2 points behind us. Dortmund have flown into a lead, only losing 1 game. We've already played half the season pretty much, and we've already lost 8 games. We've obviously struggled with this Saturday, Thursday kind of Europa League. The Europa League's gone great. We have got Arsenal in it, which is really disappointing because obviously they'll be hot favourites for it. But 8 wins out of 8 games. We've absolutely flown through that. But the league form has been at a big cost. DFB Pokal, we're in good form. We're in the quarterfinals of that. So we're still on 3 fronts. Can we look, we're not getting even Champions League this year. So it needs to be, make sure we don't fall further down than 6th. How far can we go in the Europa? Can we finally win a little trophy with the DFB Pokal? So the end of the season has come to it, and we've so close but so far away. So as you can see in the league, we did what we needed to do. We said getting out of the Champions League was probably going to be impossible. Can we hold on to 6th? And we've done that. Actually doing pretty well. 5 points off that Champions League. So it looks like we've had a really good second half of the season. Well clear of Bayern as well down there. And knocked out in a semi-final to Galatasaray. And in the semi-final to Bayer Leverkusen. So it's been a good season. There's our Europa League run. Knockout stage, we played Rapid Vienna, beat them. We then beat Nice. I thought we would have beaten Galatasaray. I think that's a really poor result. Yeah. 16 shots, 10 on target, and only an XG of 1.31. And we had to come from behind as well to stay in the tie. And then we've gone there and lost 2-1. Leao scoring, but we've not turned up in a big game. Pretty even, dominated the ball. 2 goals disallowed as well, which was really disappointing. The Santos goal was a little bit of a killer. So yeah, our Europa League run has come to the end, but money, reputation, coefficient, it's all building, right? I feel like I'm Mikel Arteta at the moment. We're building. We need to win something, don't we? So we've qualified for the Europa, £87 million to spend. Once again, before the season flips over, as you can see, Contreras was this was a killer. I completely didn't realise he had a £12 million release clause in. And as soon as the big boys come hunting, a deal goes in and it was done and he was gone. And yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare, really. He's not been amazing for us, but if you look at him, once again, fullbacks are a little bit hard to find in FM. So technically not great, but it was still disappointing to lose someone who's now worth a lot of money for so cheap. But it has given us a healthy budget, £88 million, few wages to spend. Come on. We need to, what we in now? How many seasons have we done? Are we on 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 16 seasons. 2 consecutive seasons of 6th place as well. So yeah, we need to get that Champions League football back. So moving into season 17, realistically, losing Carimiano dos Santos on a free transfer wasn't great, but we've taken a risk. Because he was dropping a little bit and he was now 31, signing him to a new deal where he was going to be on 93,000, I thought we could live without. And we've managed to sell £111 million of talent. Obi has gone. He was wanting to go for a while. Look what his contract is, so I can't grumble. He's on 700,000. He's also 32, and we also got 60 million for him. He's also... I keep saying also, he didn't have a prolific last 2 seasons as well, although these are Bundesliga tallies. So 12 and 13 is good-ish, isn't it? It's not amazing. Rick Schick, who we got on loan, or we got on a free transfer last year, All he did was moan because he wasn't playing enough. So out you go, son. He did actually play 32, but for some reason expected more. Was it? No, sorry. He wanted a new contract. Sorry, he wanted a new contract, and I just wasn't going to give him another contract. Mateus D'Amico has gone. 31 years old. We've had him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons. He's up there with Nino as a legend and Bernadetti. When we signed him for 4.9, we actually thought that it was going to be, the first player that we buy and sell. And in the end, he's been fine, consistent, very steady, solid right back / centre back, but never really kicked on, and we never really got a big bid in for him. So we never ever really got a bid in for him. So we've wished him well. He's gone off. Nice bit of money actually for him at that age, 15.5 million, along with Vlad, a player that we thought we'd had potential from, but he's just not played with long Spurs like Miko, because Miko's been there, he's not been able to kick on. We haven't been playing with wingers, just sort of like attacking fullback, so he's not kicked on. But he's been a decent player for us. A lot of substitute appearances in here, but pretty steady across the board. Been a more than adequate right fullback, but made nice little bit of money on him there, and he's maybe not going to kick on to that top level. Tom Owen has been a good servant, good few seasons. He's one of those defenders that maybe not in terms of in terms of average rating numbers, but looking at a play, he's maybe just on the small side. That's maybe cost him a little bit, and his jumping reach of 7 has definitely cost him. But he's been a good servant to us. And once again, we recouped half of what we paid for him, which was pretty good. Paul Lenard has gone. We had him for a couple of seasons. Look, the first French player to come in. Yeah, he's all right, and he's all right. And then Ando, we've managed to get him out on loan. He's whinging about game time. I'm hoping that we get something out of him before the season finishes, or before the series finishes, actually. I think I'm still, he's only 19 still. He's got 16 tackling, 13 marking, 13 heading. And get a couple of these up, maybe. I think we might have still a really good defender. And then on the ins, the freebies. Deniz Zelter. Free transfer, because why not? He's German, but he's been around a bit, look. And he's a real face. He's a real player. He's 33 years old now, but good technically. Poacher in Europe we're after. He's the first. Next one is Paul Larue. Absolutely incredible, sort of like statistics in terms of his stars rating. Only small, amazing mentals, amazing technicals. Another French player. We've liked these French players coming on a free. He's had a really good season. He played that season as well as a false 9. So that's led me to a little bit of a change. And then Kylian Peltier with his hair, 30 years old. This is why we got rid of Ramos Onobi, because we've got players like this coming in. He's had a really good season in El Nasser, look, 30 and 34. Still got really good physicals, look. Really good physicals. We're not playing with a winger, so he's likely to be a centre forward. We've brought in Jack van der Hagen, really good centre half. We've watched him for a number of years. He had a minimum release clause from Utrecht, 11.25. He's now developed, 25 years old, 6 foot, good physicals, good mentals, good heading. Yeah, superb defender. A little bit of passing there as well, so I'm really happy with that. First team starter. Emiren Gumziasdia, he is German, and that's why we've signed him. I don't want to say any more than that. He can play in midfield. He can play in a couple of roles for us. He's quite good, actually. He's probably the best German squad filler we've had so far. He's happy to be a squad player as well. Yeah, look at it. Our squad players are now getting £56,000 a week, which is nuts. Adis Babic is in. We've paid 15.25. It was overpaid because he wasn't worth that, but he's a squad player and he can play fullback. That is essentially it. And he's in the German national squad right now. That was the two reasons. Fullback, German. That's your answer, basically. To get these, we've struggled with the squad registration, so the more Germans I have in the squad, kind of the better. And then Yusuf Gundiz, German, but a little bit of potential, can play any of the 3 roles if we're doing our diamond. 16.75 from buying, a little bit expensive, I think, but squad filler, again, European front, again, we're hopefully going to rotate a little bit more with the European football. And the last one, probably the best, Jacob Agerlund, £26 million. He's made an incredible start, 4 goals, 5 games. Advanced forward, 23 years old, 5'9", so not very tall, but pace to burn, acceleration, determination, decisions, off the ball, technique. finish, dribble, first touch. Wow. Super excited about him. So tactical change. Here we go. So because we had that Lariu, and we've also got Peltier as well. Like I said, Lariu scored those goals as a false 9. So we've not got a false 9 in because didn't want to be too niche. We've gone with a DLF. So the idea is it's a little bit of an offset diamond. He will drop in there. And then Baldo or whoever's playing the Shadow Striker will go in there. So kind of we still get that diamond in possession. Aravic's going to have a real good run at right fullback this season. We didn't play him at all last season. He's now 19. He's developed a little bit. His marking's gone up 1. I can get in. And his tackling's gone up 1 as well. So really excited to see what we could get out of him. We've started the season as we normally do. 4th in the division. 3 wins. Schalke, Cologne, and Hoffenheim. 1 defeat. Hanover. That one absolutely stinks because we should really be 4 out of 4 and we can't drop points. It's getting to the point now where we can't drop points against teams like Hanover at home. That is for sure. Our Europa League phase has pulled up a couple of big boys. Inter, West Ham, and Sociedad again. But there's also Hajduk Split, Bohemians, Genk, Malmo, and Boavista. So we know we're going to be all right in that. Semi-finals last year, probably our most likely way of winning a trophy. But when it comes to the league, it's about winning the league. And we need to really start mounting title charges now. We've had our Champions League football for, this is now, last 2 seasons we finished outside of Champions League spots. So minimum, need to get into this top 4. I don't know what to say. We're 7th. We're 7th. This save is killing me. It's absolutely killing me. We keep it with the same tactic. We're actually the last 5 games. We're not far off. We're only 2 points off Stuttgart, though, so it's not the end of the world. 7 off Leipzig with 10 games to go, so it's not completely the end of the world. We're not falling any lower than 7th because we're absolutely miles ahead of Hoffenheim, but it's not where we want to be. I don't really want another season in the Europa League, but at the moment, it looks like that's where we're heading. We have qualified from the Europa League phase, 24 points, 2 seasons in a row, we've done maximum points. There's no Arsenal in it this year as well, so I'm a little bit more, even though we lost to Galatasaray, Arsenal beat Galatasaray in last year's final, so I'm a little bit excited that, we're not going to be a save-ending trophy, but a trophy. And potentially as well, big chance of the DFB Pokal, Hamburg at home in the Cup, the other draw, Stuttgart and Dortmund. But Dortmund seem to be a good team again. They've had a couple of up and down seasons, but have started to, they should have won the league actually last year and didn't. Bayer Leverkusen did. It's good now that we've had, Bayern Munich need a rebuild. Interested, they've got Danny Roll in charge, which is an interesting choice pick of a manager. They went for Robert Zieler as well. Fantastic. The former goalkeeper started his career at Man United when he was young. Yeah, down there in Man United and Northampton. Vincent Kompany was finally sacked. Zieler lasted just over a year, and then Danny Rose come in towards the end of, to the beginning, I think just after maybe October time, I think. So, frustrating. It's not the end of the world, but we've kind of maybe, have we hit a ceiling yet? Jacob Akeland's come in, our young striker. He's done pretty well. 15 goals in 30 in all comps. 18-19 in the Bundesliga. We need a little bit more from him there. The others as well, we're doing okay. Like Aravik, by the way, forgot to say, the young Norwegian defender that we've put in. 36 games. I've made sure he has played all the time in that role. Go, go, go. Because he's already on 15 assists for the season. 9 goals, 15 assists from right back. So he's our shining light so far this season. So the end of 17. We're getting closer. Not in the league, because we've finished 6th. Again, 3 consecutive 6th place finishes. We couldn't close the gap. Bayern Munich have managed to get Champions League football. We keep swapping a lot of these teams. We have a season out, but we seem to just stay in 6th. 3 seasons in a row now finishing 6th. Knocked out in the semi-final by Brighton in the Europa and runner-up in the DFB Pokal. Obviously, we knew we qualified out of the Europa League. We went down to Espanyol, but then turned it around in the second leg. We beat Sociedad 4-2 and 2-1. Semi-final in the DFB Pokal, we won against Hamburg, which we expected to do. And then away game, 1-1. 1-1 at the Amex, super happy. And then we decided to turn in a 1-0 against Brighton at home, which was super disappointing. They didn't have much. We didn't do much. Again, these big games, we just bottle it creativity-wise. And then we've gone into the final, the DFB Pokal, and deservedly lost 3-1. So Semi-final, semi-final, and 6th last season. Semi-final, final, and 6th. That is, it's. Are we ever going to win? Are we ever going to win a trophy? Are we ever going to get close again to the Bundesliga? Because at the moment it's 6th, and 6th. So based on that, we're a bit off. How many points were we off? Nearly 19 points. That's a lot to catch up. There's 10 losses in there as well. That's a lot of losses. A lot of losses. You know, Wolfsburg, who finished 15th, we shouldn't be losing to them. Hanover, we shouldn't be losing to. We can't lose games no more against anyone outside of like the top 8. It needs to be taking 4 points minimum from these games down here over the 2 games that you play home and away. Money wise, we got a bit of cash to play with, 76.8 million. That's a lot of money. So we moved into season 18 with the hope that we're getting there. Well, no, we're not. Are we getting there? We're getting closer in the DFB Pokal and then potentially Europa, 2 semi-finals in a row, and a semi-final and a final appearance in the DFB Pokal. We had a little bit of money to spend. Only noticeable out from free transfers is our 3rd choice goalie. And then transfer-wise, we've gone big again, but big with a couple of players. We've not 6 players in, 4 out, but 4 huge outs. So Zelta, 3 outs. Big star, but was very much just a backup player for us in that season. 1-year deal. Supposed to just play a little bit for us, which he did. Adel Costa's gone. Now, you may wonder why, because he's had 2... Well, no, to be fair, he looks good, but then when it comes to the big numbers, not so good. And when you get an offer of £58 million in for him, I thought we couldn't say no to that, because that potentially transforms, gives us more money to spend on maybe some younger players. Frustratingly, Enrique's gone to El Ittihad as well, but £40 million for him. He just never kicked on. He had a really good start to this career with us, and the last few seasons he's post. When the offer came in, I decided to accept it. He's worth a lot, but technicals, he's probably just lacking a little bit. And then Leao decided to move a few on, and it was Leao that I've decided to move on, which you may question, but once again, not really delivering in terms of numbers. We need a little bit more. So we've had a bit of a clear out. A lot of money has been spent. We've still got loads of money to spend. But we've brought in, I think, some really good quality. Musa Zongo has come in, a young central midfielder that can do any of the 3 midfield roles that we've generally been playing throughout the series. He's come in on a free transfer from Napoli. Bit of an all-rounder. Kind of that replacement for Enrique. Conte's come in on that left-hand side. Free transfer as well. Empoli this time. Been around a bit, 28 in his prime, but we'll definitely get a good couple of seasons, I think, out of him on that left. Abdai Fair, not fancied at all. I think the scout said D, but he's only 20 years old. And he's got 14 first touch, 14 long shots, 16 passing, 15 technique, 13 work rate, 14 vision, 15 off the ball, 15 flair, 16 composure, 14 decisions, 14 determination, good stamina, good agility, good balance. He's German. And it cost me 6.75. I don't think that's a bad deal, but the board, the fans, weren't happy with that one. And my squad and my scouting report as well. So maybe I'm wrong, because everyone else has said no, and I've said yes. Welton Vieira, 26-year-old. We've had him watched for a couple of seasons, and then when it came to the point of losing a couple of attacking players, we've decided to dive in. We've done his release clause of 13.75. Can play either side, physical, good mentals, lacks in a couple of technicals, maybe. Passing's okay. Heading's not great, but we're not too worried about that. But yeah, I think a really good player that can play in 3 different positions for us. Ibrahim Niak is in. Backup defender, but we're looking at him being that new defensive midfielder. We've still got a Ponza who is now getting quite old, even though we've had him since he was very, very young. Galatasaray, we've got him from 16 million, this player. 6 foot, really good mentals, good physicals, great touch, can pass a little bit, can tackle as well. So I'm really happy with him being that half-back, anchor, deep line playmaker, ball-playing defender as well, look, if needed. So yeah, I'm super happy with that at 16 million. Matched his release clause. And then we've brought in Tim Walther, 5'6", not the biggest, but a little bit of a terrier. He very looks like an Aponza, 26 years old. And I do think as well, German, I think I overspent. We did overspend on him, but we had so much money, and to get squad registration right, I had to sign another German, and we kind of need Germans that are going to play a little bit, because we're kind of just having them as kind of water carriers at the moment, substitutes that are never getting on, and this guy will hopefully now stay with us, get a good rotation option, and can play in maybe some of the lesser games in Europe, few league games. So that is our transfer window. We've gone through a new tactic for the season as well. We decided to go back to wide players because we've got players like Vieira and Aguilan that can kind of do it. And then Peltier on that left-hand side, Conti as well. We've had the diamond for a bit. We've had the 4-2-2. We've had the offset 4-3-3 with no wide players. I thought it was maybe time to go a little bit basic, a little bit of balance. Winger on one side, inside forward on the other. Deep line forward dropping in Lario, who we know can do that superbly well. We've gone basic bitch, basically. We've gone basic bitch on a hope that we can get a tune out of these boys this season. So, here we go. Form, start of the season. Good FP Pokal win. Shocker, Schalke. 1-0. We said we can't drop points against these teams. We've done it already in the first game of the season. Good response, though. Heidenheim 3-0, which is kind of bread and butter. But 3-2 win at Bayern Munich. Really good performance, that. So it just showed the tactic could probably work. Bayern Munich have come alive a little bit last year. They got into the Champions League ahead of us. And not the Bayern Munich they once were. I don't want to take that away from us. I actually think that's a really good result. It kind of does spur you on that, yeah, the tactic works because we've got a good win in the was it Allianz? Is it the Allianz? Yeah, the Allianz Arena. And now it's a case of, can we progress? We need to get I keep saying Champions League football has to be a thing. Has to be a thing. The Europa League phase is interesting as well. We've had a couple of semi-final defeats. We'll look at the draw, but it doesn't really matter till the last stages. We'll qualify. Anderlecht, FCB, Lega Warsaw, Utrecht, Besiktas, Sporting, Karabag, and Bodo Glimt. However, Newcastle into Atleti, that's kind of doing the coefficient look. So it kind of shows you where you are potentially, maybe does it? Or maybe just the seedings, but there's some big boys in there, unfortunately. So it looks like it'll be another season without a trophy. Come on, DFB Pokal. Come on. Right, we're into December. We brought it back a little bit earlier. We've made a good start. 2 defeats. We've only lost 1 since that opening few games of the season because we lost at Schalke, but we have lost at home against Leipzig. 2 draws, Kaiserslautern and Frankfurt. A little bit disappointed with the Kaiserslautern one. 8 wins. Wins against Dortmund in there as well, which is really cool. So we're in and around it. 5 points now. Bayer Leverkusen have decided they're going to be awesome this year, and Leipzig haven't lost yet, but we're in it. I think we're in it. Champions League, we're in it. It's quite tight though. It's quite tight. The big boys, Munich, Dortmund, Frankfurt now, it's kind of like a big 6 with us really. Europa's gone okay. 4 wins, no draws, 1 defeat against Utrecht, which was bizarre, but we have done a fair bit of rotation in this at times to try and push us on into the season, into the Bundesliga as much as we can. And interestingly as well, Santos, who's been with us a couple of years and been very much a bit part player, has started to score a lot of goals. He didn't get much of an opportunity. Yeah, very much a sub over the last 2 years. He's played a little bit this year and has come alive finally. So he's looking like a superb player, coming into his peak, but has definitely improved, attribute-wise, has improved since we signed him a couple of seasons ago. We're still in the Pokal. We're still in Europa. Champions League football. Come on. We want Champions League, trophy win, trophy win. That's the plan. And, oh my God. We got Champions League football. We got it. We got it. So that's given us a bit of money to spend. Look, 68. We're good. We're good. Europa League knocked out semi-final again by Atletico, so we could kind of get that because that was always going to be a really tricky one for us. And then semi-final by Leverkusen, so we love a semi-final. We absolutely love a semi-final. That's 3 semi-finals in a row there, and I think 3 semi-finals out of the last 4 years in that one as well. So yeah, still no trophies. It must be a Magdeburg thing because I went through 12 seasons with it in the FM18 and won 1 trophy. We're now in season 18. Done, 18 done, and we've not won a single trophy. We've not won. If you're still here and finding this exhilarating, I would appreciate if you let me know down in the comments and say we're still here. We're still here loving it. We're loving the pain. We're loving you see you squirm. I do think we're getting to that point now where the money's consistent, that we can maybe just have that season where we're just on it. Because the form-wise for the players is getting better. Look, Santos, 25 goals. Egeland, 25 goals. Vieira, 17 goals. Peltier, 17 goals. Conte, 10 goals. There's a lot of goals there. There's a lot of bloody goals. So it probably means we've let in way too many. No. We've let in 33. We've scored 66, but there's our problem. too many draws. We're 20 points, by the way, off Leipzig, so they've had a tremendous season. But 60 defeats, 10 draws, yeah, that's the problem. 33 goals conceded, 66. We just need a little bit more, a little few more goals, which is crazy. I think the Europa League, because obviously we do quite well in that. There's a lot of goals, like 5-2 against Rangers, 3-2 against Rangers. We got absolutely spanked, by the way, by Atleti, 4-1 defeat and 2-1 defeat. We also got a 10-0. We beat Karabag 10-0. Peltier, Agland, Pendeville, Ponza. By the way, Ponza is now 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons he's been playing. Absolute club legend. 35 shots we had against Karabag. So yeah, there's a lot of goals scored. We've had a 6-4 against Anderlecht there. 4-0 against Augsburg. Yeah, there's been some big results this season. That's maybe where it skewed the goal scoring, but it's still good. That's our best, definitely our best season in terms of scoring goals. Right, season 19. Here we go. In season 19, we let go a couple of noticeable players. Paul Lariou, that deep line false nine guy who we tried at the opening part of the season, and the experiment went terribly wrong across both seasons. And yeah, it was a 2-year deal. Once again, one of those players that look nice, and we've maybe just not found the correct role. A lot of these players, these French players, like this AP role, but in for free, out for free, 2 years, been a decent enough player for us. And Stacey Pendeville, 31 years old, yeah, he'd passed his best, done a couple of decent seasons. We've struggled at left back since Harry Amas. We've struggled a little bit there in terms of that really good consistency. Not much in terms of numbers in possession, etc. And then the transfers, noticeable one, Alex Vega, who we've had for a number of seasons, actually. That signing from Boavista was supposed to be a little bit of a backup. Ended up playing, he's been more of a sub, like first sub option in a couple of positions for us. In the centre-back position for us. And yeah, Saudi come calling, don't they? 23.5. Not one of the big boys as well. So we kind of allowed him to go for 25.5. Peltier's gone. 32 years old, though. We had him for 2 good seasons, 2 decent seasons, look. 12 goals, 10 goals. Played in that inside forward. He's played all over for us, to be fair. But yeah, it was time. I didn't want to offer these guys another 2-year deals when they're at the age of 32. We've got money to spend as well. And this was getting to the point where I was like, right, buy, sell, shipping players out, in and out to try and make a difference. Now, just in case we're at this save for a little bit longer, I brought in Patrick Schmidt. He is the best young goalkeeper in the country, and I've decided to pay £14 million for him because he's got potential. He's going to be our number 2 goalie, and then he will take over in a couple of seasons to be number 1. That's the only reason why. Also, ready for the future, Aponza's kind of backup. When Aponza does go, he will then step in, is Marcos Paulo. Good physicals, still needs to improve on his technicals, but a nice little pickup at the price of 14 million. Oscar Cavero, Peruvian, 2.5 million. These sometimes end up being the best, don't they? 19 years old. Needs to finish on his technicals a little bit, but 15 pace, 6'2" with good determination. It could be absolutely lethal in that inside forward role and an absolute bargain. He's already worth up to £50 million. Jose Silveira on that right hand side because we're playing this 4-2-4. Kind of missed the boat, maybe a little bit with him, but £17 million we got him from Boca. Good crossing, good dribbling, good first touch, good pace, good physicals. Yeah, he could be an absolute beast on that right side of midfield. Pascal Kikeson is not a player you will ever have heard of. Not the fact that he's a region, but he was in our under-18s in Germany when I was scouting around to see what they had. And I thought, oh, he potentially could potentially be a backup left back in the future. That's how far I'm planning ahead. Thinking of German players, and I thought, let's try and get a couple in that might be able to do a job for us. So yeah, potential backup left back. This guy, on the other hand, I just thought, fuck it, I'm going for it. He's 30 years old. He was transfer listed because he was at Schalke. He's had a good couple of seasons, a bit of a late developer, but we've gone big. 37.5 million release clause spent. He's had a good start to the season as well. 3 Bundesliga goals, scored a hat-trick in the DFB Pokal. 6'2", pace, can finish. Good free kick taking, good technique, leadership, flair. Yeah, he could be the one. And to finish it off, Gianluca Di Salvo, backup goalkeeper, German, been released by Bayer Leverkusen, squad filler. So, with that, we're keeping with the formation. We've gone 2 advanced forwards. We're being dirty here. We've gone with support options in the wide areas to come in and play a little bit. Babic going round that left-hand side. Ando is now going to get a run for us after his loan spell. I'm going to give him a season. Losing Vega, I'm going to give him a season. I think he's nearly ready. 16 tackling, 40 marking, 14 heading, German. I want to try and get a couple of Germans in the starting 11. Van Hayden, Ferreira's our solid right wing back, who's really good luck. Worth a lot of money as well. Silveira, Vieira, who we've had a couple of seasons, look, he can play all over. Decent start, 11 goals in his first season for us. And then Egeland up front with Abragast. And then we've also got, don't forget, we always forget about him, Santos, who's had a really good, he's now unhappy because he's not started the season. Oh, that's the wrong Santos. That is the wrong Santos. Where is my Santos? He is unhappy because he's still not, but look at his fucking value. We need to make the most out of him. He's, if someone wants to come and pay 100 million for him, I will take it. But he's very much regarded as very high. That's high, innit? That is high. He had a good season for us. To be fair, he scored 14 goals in only 12 starts. 19 of them were substitute appearances. So, yeah, we're good. We're solid. We're good. Players all over the place. Anovic as well has had to drop out because we've gone with this wing back on defend now because we're playing with these wide players. So he struggled. He didn't hit the high notes of that first season when he had a really good start. He actually dropped off towards the end of the season, and now we've gone with this swapping formation. He's now just a backup right winger, but we're in a good place, a really good place. What we're on season 19 now. We've started the season okay. Really good win in the DFB Pokal. Finally managed to get double figures against someone. Freiburg 1-0 away. Schalke 1-0 at home. And then we've just lost against Leverkusen 3-1. Kyriapolopoulos scoring our former player after we'd gone 1-0 up as well. So it's a little bit disappointing. We've only just started the season. It's not the end of the world. One of the toughest away games is out of the way. But it needs to be a win at some point. We're in the Champions League. Hooray. Which is going to give us more money for next season. We've got Marseille, Madrid, Porto, Ajax, Bayer Leverkusen, Juventus, Anderlecht, Zagreb. We're probably looking at that middle section there. See if we can qualify, get a little bit further than what we have done. I think it was the last 16 won it against Juventus. So let's see if we go a little bit further this time. We're still in Champions League. We're still in DF Pokal. We're not going to be winning the Bundesliga. 10 points off already. 10 points off. We're in and around the Champions League again, which is good. So we need to try and get Champions League football if we can. 5 defeats, though. Some stinkers in there. Augsburg, Stuttgart, 5-3. Leverkusen, but Eintracht Frankfurt, one of the bigger teams, losing at home, but they've had an iffy couple of seasons. So that's a bit disappointing that has happened. We're never going to win it, are we? It feels like at the moment that we're never going to win it. Champions League, though, we might win it. We're still in it. We've managed to qualify. We didn't get for the last 8, the second round, so we're going to have to play in the knockout round, but we're in it. And then we're also playing Freiburg as well in the DFB Pokal. Chance of a trophy. Our Champions League run, no defeats. 4 wins, Zagreb, Anderlecht, Ajax and Marseille. 4 draws, Juventus, Bayer Leverkusen, Porto, and a really good result against Real Madrid. That's twice we've played them, and both times we've drawn in the Bernabeu. Goal-wise, Egeland's our man in the league. 10 goals in 16 games. I still think, when you're shooting for the title, you need 1 in 1, don't you? In FM, you would think 1 in 1. Conte's done quite well. Nice little assist. I think it's going to be his final season for us, potentially. Has he got another year left? Yeah, he's got another year left, so he might be all right. But he's aging now. He's 30 years old, but has been a decent pickup for us. We're just not well... We're well balanced, but... we're well balanced, but it's just not as nice and pretty as what I thought it would be, this tactic. I thought it was a sure thing. It's just that next step that we're really struggling. We have probably got a bit of money. No, we've got no money left because we spent so much in the summer. So much. How's the budget looking? I think we've actually paid off the stadium now. Have we got any loans? Bank loan. Oh, that's still going. That's for the stadium as well. So we still got a bank loan, but it's a little bit less than what it was. But shit, yeah, we've lost a lot of money this year. We've still got Champions League money to come through. Your league money to come through as well. So we should be okay. We've got 52 million in the bank. So hopefully by the end of the season, with a good finish of the season, we'll be okay financially to go again for season 20. Because it's not happening in season 19, is it? We've done it again. Knocked out in the last 16 in the Champions League by RB Leipzig. Disappointing that it was Leipzig that knocked us out. As you can see in the league, 5th. We're back in the fucking Europa. So that's a money issue for number 1. Semi-final, DFB Pokal. I can't believe this and this. We just can't make that jump, and we're way off again. We're way off. 8 defeats. We can't have 8 defeats. We're losing against... I think we're really struggling with that Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. I'm having to rotate a little bit. I don't know if we just go for it and just like, this is my team. We play. You play till you're dead. Like Arne Slot didn't change the Liverpool side until they basically won the league, did he? So just go, 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 go. We maybe need to do a little bit more of that next season. So that is where we're at. Season-wise, we've got big money to spend, 87 mil. England, 27. Santos, 16. 15 from Agrablast. A little bit more from him, but he's a lot of substitute appearances. Look, 35 appearances of sub. Vieira, 13. 13 assists from wide areas. Conte's done well, 12 and 9 as well. Silveira's not been as good as what I thought. He would have been now a new right midfielder. Some good average ratings as well. Ferreira, goalkeeper's done exceptionally well. Aravic's gone out on loan now. Van Eyden, our centre-backs have had centre-back, goalkeeper, centre-back, right-back, all had really good seasons. So we may be... Are we good defensively? We probably aren't, and it's just telling me wrong. Yeah, 39. Not amazing. Over one a game, but okay, I suppose. I think last season was 66 and 33, was it? And now we're 66 and 39. 5th. So what's that in the last few seasons? 6th. So following that second place finish, 6th, 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 4th, 5th. Fucking hell. Competition wins, 0. Oh dear. Right, we're coming up to 20 years in charge of Magdeburg. Now, this save is coming to an end, hopefully very, very soon. I've got a line of clubs on here. I'm hoping that the next save ideas that we do, I thought this would be 10 seasons done kind of thing. I'm hoping the next few series, we've got Sampdoria lined up, we've got Claudio Ranieri returning to Leicester. That is the next video that I'm starting on as soon as I win the Bundesliga with Magdeburg. That is happening. So stay tuned for that. Hope you've enjoyed the journey. Let's go. 20 years in charge of Magdeburg with no trophy. Progress. We'll say progress, but still no trophy. Let's go. So, players left. Gil has gone. Free transfer to Hamburg. Contract out. And Iandia has gone. Free transfer. Gone out. Never really played for us. It was weird. I don't know why I signed him, to be honest. Good squad filler. We love that word in this series. Squad filler. I think next time, when I do the series with someone else, like the next one's going to be Leicester, I've just said, we don't want to hear squad filler. We do not want to hear that word, squad filler. That word is banned for the next series. Aponza has departed. He was very much a bit part player. We've decided to get a little bit of money. He's gone to UAE. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons. Another testimonial player, Juan Augusto Aponzo. Thank you for your service. No trophies in that 10 years though, bud. Babic has gone on a free at left back that we signed just because he was a left back and German. 6.85, 6.72, 6.7. It ain't great. Zongo was a player that just wanted to play more. It gets to the point where the same squad players just don't want to be squad players anymore, do they? And he's gone back to Italy. No money really in for him. What did we get? 3.2. It was just he wanted to go, so we just let him go. Conte, on the other hand, we decided to cash in for him because he was 30. And even though he'd had a really good season for us, I did think he'd probably reach that level with us. So 15.75 at that from a free. Good little 2-year stint for Conte. Move him on, and then we go again. Renato Santos was that young left back who we had high hopes for, and then just hasn't improved. He's literally stayed exactly the same. And when your player then goes to Heidenheim, you know you've probably made a mistake. And that is all of them. On the ins, 1, 2, 3, 4, for a total fee of 78.8. Now, we didn't have a decent left back, did we? So I've gone all in on this dude because he can't tackle, but he can cross, first touch, incredible physicals, decent mentals, 6'1", and he's got good technique. So we're all about delivery for this guy. Attacking Hakimi, the left backer version of Hakimi, basically. We want him flying down that left wing. It's really slim pickings for left backs, and that is literally one of the best ones that we could get in the game that we could realistically get. I think Man United have got an awesome one, but we're not in that area of shopping from Manchester United. But we are in the area of shopping from teams like Sporting. So, fingers crossed, this is the guy. Peter Johansson is in on the basis that we're going to be here. So we got rid of Conte, and then we've got Johansson in, who is a wonder kid that wouldn't want to sign for us 2 years ago, and now he did. 6.25. Yeah, the 6.75 is release clause. Good. He's 19 years old. Needs to improve on his physicals, but he is up on his pace a little bit now. Really good mentals, good technique, good passing, first touch, dribbling. Yeah, a little bit of a dribbly boy at the age of 19. Back up, play a few games for us if you can. New defender in is Jefton. Now, the reason why we've done that, because clubs have been circling round Ferreira. We've not sold him yet. He's got a very high minimum release clause. So, and he's only just, well, he signed it last summer. So there was no offers for him yet. The transfer window's done, but earlier on in the season, it looked like we were going to lose him. So I thought we need to be ready for that because he's been such a key part in our season. So, or in our season so far in our team. So we've managed to get Jefton in, 19 years old, holding midfielder, but I am thinking as well, just be an absolute beast of a right back for us. Crossing, long shots, marking, tackling, passing's decent. Look at those physicals, look at those mentals. So I'm more than happy to him to be that sort of like bit part player, regular starter. So we're going to have him in games, but he can be a really good DM. Ponza's gone, remember. So yeah, Jefton in. He's an absolute mountain. And then Alisson, 15.75. He's not moved on to a big club. He's like that Vieira that we've got, where they've not kicked on and really moved into. So you get this sometimes with these Brazilian players that they end up just staying. They have really good young potential. He's still only 23. We've been watching him since he was about 17. And he just lacks maybe a little bit pace-wise. Stamina's good. To be fair, he's good. He's good. But that says otherwise. I've gone this signing's based on attributes. And we had money left at the end of the transfer window. And I thought, I'm going to spend it. I'm going to not going to hold off any longer. Let's get him in. Let's make that squad as big and as powerful as we can. We're still rocking this 4-2-4. That is the plan. What we have done, though, we might then look at moving Ferreira. If we just go on position, we might move Ferreira across. I gave Ando that start last year, and he did all right. 31. He played a lot of games, 47 in all comps. He did okay, but I've not seen that lifting attributes that I thought I would from him. So it maybe shows that he's maybe not going to kick on. Van Heyen is a superb centre-half, like one of probably the best in the world. Sign him to a new deal as well. Then maybe look at playing Ferreira now at centre-back and then having Jefton at right-back. So then we're really strong at right-back. Look, Jefton, Van Eyden, could be, where is he? Ferreira. And then Fernandez, our new left wing-back, to bomb down that left-hand side. Cavero, the young Peruvian, is going to get given more of a chance this season. But we have got, look, squad depth. Vieira can play there. Cavallero, Alisson that we've just signed. Right-hand side. Egeland, Vieira, Silvero, Aravic. Up front, Egeland, Vieira, Alisson, Santos and Agroblast. We've got options all over the pitch. The season has kicked off and we've started without any reds. 14-1 win. That's our biggest so far. Bigger the results. It kind of shows that we're maybe getting better when you smash a team because we'd have been 5s and 6s and 7s. Last season was 11. Now it's a 14. Hansa Rostock. I think are an East German side, so that would have been probably a little bit of a derby. 4-2. Really good win away from home. Leipzig. 1-0. That is huge. They got a man sent off, but who cares? We were 1-0 up when that happened anyway. Disappointingly, we've then gone to Kaiserslautern and then drawn 0-0. But good start to the season, innit? Good start to the season. And then the Europa phase, look, we've got Lille, Vitória Guimarães, Marseille, Zagreb, Besiktas, Roma, Trabzonspor, Bodo Glimt, FC Köln. Oh, no, FC Köln's in the second round of the DFB Pokal. Okay, I'm confident-ish. I think we've had a good transfer window. Europe, I am going to, when I said that, we just play. I'm just going to play my best team like all the time. When players are dead, we'll then take them out. But I'm not going to rotate and think, right, I need to save you for the next game. Let's just go next game, one game. Do the boring football manager kind of chat. Just one game at a time. And that's what we're going for. Okay, we're into February. Transfer window's just gone. Now, first thing, Ferreira's gone. Barcelona came in and taken him on a release clause, 82 million. So if we have another season, we've got money to spend already. However, title race. For the first time in a long time, we're in a title race after 20 games. Halfway through the season, over halfway. We've got a game in hand, good goal difference, but 5 points separate us. 5 points separate Bayer Leverkusen in first and Bayern Munich in 5th. So it looks like it could be going right to potentially the wire, but we're in a good spot. We've smashed the Europa League, 8 wins. We love the Europa League group phase. And we're still in the DFB Pokal. And Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich are playing each other in that one. So there's going to be one big boy knocked out of that. And then Nuremberg, Kaiserslautern, us and Dusseldorf, Hamburg and Hoffenheim at the end of the season, which is something that's not happened for a long time.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
So we're back on game week 34. As you can see, we are 2 points ahead of Leipzig with 1 game to play. Oh my life. This could possibly... I'm praying that this is the final season. 20 seasons of this has been incredibly tough and frustrating, and there could be one final twist. Interestingly as well, Bayer Leverkusen could also win the league. We play Köln, who are 12th. Leipzig play Bayer Leverkusen. So it's all about today. Now, our run since April has been pretty good. 2 defeats in there, 1 in the Bundesliga to Union Berlin, which was frustrating because I think we won them like 7-0 early on in the season. A couple of wins in there against Rangers in the Europa. Werder Bremen 5-1. 1-1 at Freiburg. I can't believe we've lost away to Hoffenheim, but anyway, we did. Smashed Gladbach 3-0. Egeland getting a hat-trick. Europa League, we've managed to get through. A narrow 1-0 win over Stuttgart and then drawing the away leg 3-0. Drawing the away leg 3-3. And then, more importantly, the league game in between, we managed to win 4-3. And then a pretty routine win over Schalke that you would expect. So as you can see, we've also got Newcastle in the Europa. We will do that game as well for you at the end, but I need to be in a good mood because I may lose the plot if we don't win today. And a point potentially might be okay, depending on what they're doing, depending on who wins out of Leverkusen and Leipzig, because I'm pretty sure it's goal difference. Yeah, it's goal difference. So Leipzig goal difference is incredible. So we ain't catching that. They've only let in 24 goals. We've scored 80, letting 36. We have got a better one over Bayer Leverkusen. So depending on where we go, we might not, depending on what, if Leipzig are either drawing or Bayer Leverkusen are winning, we may only need a draw. But I think it's safe to say we just need to go out and pick up the 3 points. Okay. So the centre-back area has still proven to be a little bit, with losing Ferreira, it's been tricky. Askel Bren, he's just a player that's, his physical's good. Yeah, he's just that we've underused him. But I kind of went on the same line as that for Andor last year, and he never really kicked on with his chance. However, Bren seems to have been okay. In the forward areas, we're going to go with the tried and tested, even though we've done a little bit of rotation. Alisson on the left, 15 goals. Not prolific. It's not prolific in the Bundesliga, is it? I feel like playing my youngster. We have a couple of youngsters. He's going to be tremendous, Peter Johansson. But we are going to go Cavallero on that left, Vieira on the right, and then we're going to go with Santos up front. Every time I doubt this guy, he comes back and now he's had, I was preparing him to be our 4th choice striker, and he's ended up being pretty much... Is our leading goal scorer? Is he beating Egeland? No. Well, he kind of is. I think he is in the Bundesliga, but Egeland is overall. What a strike force. It's kind of all come together nicely if we can pick up the win today. Right. Our fitness is pretty damn good. Oh, this is it, boys. Yeah, sod it. Let's go for a team meeting. Oh, we're only 1 victory away from the title. But I don't want that to play on your minds when you step onto that pitch. Treat that match like any other, like you would any other. Let's go. Press it, mate. Ooh, okay. We'll go with that. We'll take it. We got some greens. We got some greens in the team meeting. Beautiful. The last time we did a live con was years ago in Leipzig, when we were a couple of games ago when we played Leipzig, but I kind of felt we're the underdog, and today we're expected to win, aren't we? We're expected to beat, is it Cologne? It's from the city of Cologne, isn't it? But did they say Cologne? Come on, lads. I've just said, come on, lads. Let's win the title today. We'll keep an eye on what's going on, I suppose, in the background. But if we could just score a couple of goals early on, settle those nerves. That would be tremendous. Here we go. I've never wanted to win a game of Football Manager more than this, to be honest. Am I maybe just destined not to win a league title like we were in the last save when I did it all those, 7 years ago? Santos down the left. That's cut out. I thought he was going to find Egeland. We've won it back with Fernandes. We've lost it again. I'm going to get nervous every time we lose the ball. We're going to get it back. Cavero, who I've put in, the young Peruvian, into Nagak. Oh, we've lost it again. We've got it back. We've lost it. Oh, this is ping ball. That is a absolute fucking shit show. Absolute shit show. How many times did we give the ball away? Look, and then Nagak has just decided just to stand on it in possession. Oh, boys. Please don't do this to me. We're still technically top because Leverkusen and Leipzig are drawing. But a goal in that game will still change. Leipzig have scored. Okay. So we now need to win the game. We have to win the game, boys, and we're doing absolutely nothing. Oh my god. The half has passed and nothing has happened. Nothing. I feel like we have the players in the team to go and just do it without having to change things too early. Okay, we're doing some changes because 63, we've had nothing. There's been nothing in the game in terms of highlights. I can't believe it. Why is Football Manager doing this to me? Why is Miles Jacobson doing this to me? We're going to make a double change. We're going to bring on Anvark and Allison in the wide areas. Let's get Fernandes, just a wing back on attack, down that left-hand side. See if we can get something. What's the score? It's still 2-1 Leipzig. So at the moment, guys, we need 2 goals. And nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. There's a highlight, but it's to them. At the moment, a draw isn't even good enough. Walter intervenes, gets it. Santos, Aravik, cross. Can we score? Oh, it's missed. Allison at the back stick. We should score. We have scored. Santos, the man that I've doubted time and time again. I tell you what, if we don't get the title, I'm going to actually have to change the tactic again and maybe go to some sort of 4-3-3. And leave Santos up there by himself and have maybe Egeland playing on that right-hand side by him as like an inside forward. We've scored a goal. I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do if we don't score another. Because we do need another. It's 10 minutes. What do we do? Do we make changes? We've got a highlight. Then we will make some changes. We need a goal. We need a goal. Can we get it off them, boys? Can we get it off them? We have. We've got possession of the ball. Here we go. Back to the goalie. Passed. Van Hejen. Where are you going, bud? Jefton. Anvarik. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Oh, God, they've tackled. We're coming into the 89th minute. Fernandes. Santos. Nagak. Aravik. Cross it! We've scored! 89th minute! England has scored. Oh, my life. We've done absolutely nothing. And then we've just managed to score 2 late goals from 2 highlights. These are the only highlights that we've had in the whole entire game. And we now need to make some changes. Right, I don't want to go too defensive, so I am going to just go balanced. And we're going to go shorter, slightly slower tempo. We'll be more disciplined. We'll play for set pieces. We're going to hold our shape. We'll regroup. Oh la la, let's get some players on. Let's get Agroblast on for Santos. 2 midfielders are dying, so let's go Baldo. We've got 1 more sub to do. We maybe just go Paulo, who's a young Brazilian. He's not really. Should we anchor? I suppose an anchor would work. Oh, not double Volante. Jeez. I still want that Volante because I don't want us to lose too much of our shape. Right. Are we off again? No. I don't know. I was about to say, I don't know if this is a highlight. Right. Another highlight. We don't need to see any more. Baldo. Jefton. Aravik. I've realised I've left my left winger on wing back on attack, but he's got high. He's found Alisson. We are going to be Bundesliga champions. The save is going to be coming to an end. Paulo into Fernandes, into Alisson, off the bench. Did I get it right to do them changes? If anything, you could say I probably did it wrong. I made the wrong area, wrong starting players in those wide areas. But we're going to finally be Bundesliga champions. This has been, like, when I started this a few weeks ago, I thought I'm just going to ease into these sort of like story mode kind of saves. And I've got so many great ideas. And I thought Magdeburg would be not an easy one, but maybe 10 years you would see, a good progress. And we have had decent progress. It's been very gradual, but I never expected it to be 20 seasons long. Most people turn into world domination after 20 seasons, but me, no. Definitely too many tactical changes. I think we've had to go down the route of that wonder kid kind of South American route to get us on board and to get money into the club, similar to what I did with Bordeaux, just to try and get some money in, because at the start it was very much signing those players in their sort of like early 30s to try and just to get us through. Absolutely brilliant. We're champions. I'm not going to play, because I realise this video will be God knows how many hours long. Can we finish with Europa? We'll go and do the match highlights. So it's Roberto De Zerbi's Newcastle that we're taking on the Europa League final. Interestingly as well, they've had some success. Europa League winners in 2035, European Champions League winners in 29, Europa League winners in 2030, Europa Conference League, Europa League winners as well in 2027. Then they scale down funding. Then a new chairperson who scales down funding. The club went into administration in 2038. Then an administrator went out, and then a new administrator looks like they went back in again and again in 2039. Youth category dropping, withdrawing from funding in 2039. Administrator leaves, so it looks like they're okay. And then a new chairperson takes over, and then came out of administration again. Europa League runners-up 2 years ago. So it's testing time for Newcastle. It's a weird kind of running they've had over the past, 20 seasons. However, for us, it was our first European final for 71 years, and it didn't get off to the best of starts when we went 1-0 down, tight for offside, but it was given. We did respond, though, just before half-time. That man who I've doubted, Santos, of course it was, captain's armband on to equalise just before half-time. It's early on in the second half. There he is again, slipping it in to make it, that's what she said, to make it 2-1. And then Vieira down the right. Alisson at the back stick, who we recalled to the starting 11 after his good performance in the last game of the season. And then on the break, to finish it off, good little link-up play between the two strikers. Aggro blast in, and he absolutely smashes it in, the German, to make it 4-1 Magdeburg. We have managed to, it's really beautiful, a beautiful ending. Bundesliga, which the club has never won. Then our next European final for 71 years, since the European Cup Winners' Cup when they beat AC, we've managed to beat Newcastle United. Breathe. Now, this save file will be available for the Patreons, link down in the description. If you want to support the channel and take it on, carry it on. I want to know how you get on, so make sure you let me know in the Discord. Link in the description to that. All right, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed it. What a journey we have been on. Europa League, finally, but the Bundesliga was the one. And after 20 years, we finally got Magdeburg on the map. Patreons as well. The link to the save file will be available if you want the Patreon with all those tactics that we've created over those 20 seasons. If you want to support the channel, you enjoy the content, check it out. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. See you later.